Hello everyone, welcome back, and thank you for joining us on the Live Unreal with Glover U podcast, where every week Jeff Glover and his coaches will dive deep into the questions that you are asking. They understand the challenges you are facing on a day-to-day basis and still work every day on the front lines of real estate, with Jeff and his team closing over 1,000 homes per year. In today's episode, Jeff will interview Glover U coach Justin Ford on how he listed 68 homes, closed 57 of them, and earned over $330,000 in GCI year to date. We'll learn from Jeff and Justin the secrets to achieving high results and what it takes to win even through tough times. Now let's hear from Jeff Glover and Justin Ford.
Welcome everybody. We're here with Justin Ford, and we're going to give it just a minute for a couple of people to chime on, because I know how that works in the Facebook Live world. How you doing, my man?
Doing great. Just busy. Definitely busy. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Good to see you. You're in the middle of a move right now too, aren't you?
Yep.
So talk to me about, before we jump into the title today, talk to me about your new place. How did you arrive at making the decision to make a move, and talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So as you know, Jeff, I've been and I was actually just sharing this with my boot camp that back in 2005, I got married. A year later, we bought a home, and then went through the mortgage, meltdown, and we lost our house to foreclosure, went through bankruptcy, had a lot of, tough times during that period. Yeah. But didn't really rush, into getting, back to being a homeowner. We really wanted to get our stuff in order, get our credit in order, get our business in order. And about 10 days ago, we officially closed on a new home, and we're super excited about it.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. I know, the lessons that we learn through our hard times are what prepare us for being responsible for our better times. So tell me about the house. I'm curious.
Yeah. Beautiful home, about 3,000 square feet here in Plymouth, 5 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, finished walkout basement on just under an acre of land. Yeah.
That's cool. So finished walkout and on a large lot.
Huge lot.
Good for you. Good for you, my man. I'm real proud of you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So the reason why we wanted to put this on for those that are watching live, or that'll be watching after the live, is I wanted to spotlight some of the success that I'm seeing out there in the industry. And one of the reasons why I asked Justin if he would do this is because you've heard me say a million times probably now, if you've been following us, we are the only real estate training and coaching organization where our coaches are on the ground listing and selling real estate, and the head coach is on the ground listing and selling real estate. Well, one of the things that's super cool about Justin, and one of the reasons why, I'm honored to be in business with Justin, quite frankly, is because Justin was one of the original Jeff Glover and Associates agents that went through the original training program, the original boot camp and inside sales associate role, and then become an OSA, and had a lot of success with us. And then went out and just kind of did the independent broker thing for a while, and is still doing that, but also knowing that your number one thing is being a strong salesperson, which is what we teach. And I think that anyone who gets the opportunity to work with you or learn from you needs to know that. And I don't know if anybody watching saw the latest article in the Gazette. Number one, this is the interview that Justin and I had on stage in Orlando. But at the bottom, these numbers are pretty astounding. This is year to date. Now, I'm sure, of course, Justin, I know the numbers are higher now, because this magazine was published 2-3 weeks ago now, and sent to the printer a week or two before that. But 68 homes listed year to date, 57 homes closed, $333,654 in GCI. And if I remember correctly, this was through June, So talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what's different about this year for you? I mean, there's so much going on in the world, and people concerned about what's happening. And don't get me wrong, I mean, we're sensitive to that too. But what's different about what you're doing versus what the rest are doing?
I get asked that question quite a bit, and I actually just got off my boot camp, and we were, talking about some of those things. And, I really I'm so thankful, that I was able to learn the information, that I've been taught by you right out of the gate, right? I didn't experience real estate any other way. It was, working with you. I came and joined your team back at the end of 2013. And, everything that you teach, to the Glover Unit Circle and to agents around the country on a regular basis is, the very same thing that I was able to learn from you on a daily basis as a brand new agent. And I think really, the thing that I've really been able to, hold on to is not only the skills that you've taught me, but making a decision to show up and do it every single day, no matter what.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on, regardless of the pandemic. I mean,
yep.
I'll be honest, the pandemic, I took 3.5 weeks off, when things shut down. I was a little discouraged because, me, Jeff, once I get going, I go, and it's hard for me to slow down. And plugging into the training and the teaching that you did, through the lockdown of, making it happen, doing whatever it takes, those that do X, Y, and Z through this time are going to come out, way ahead of everybody else. And honestly, it was so true for me coming out of the lockdown.
Yeah. Well, and what I love about what you said, and I got a couple thoughts on what you said there. Number one, you're just as much of a student as you are a coach, right? You took advantage of the added value and the free sessions and the things that we put out there because everyone needs someone to lean on. Everyone needs someone to support them. And quite honestly, that's my only concern for real estate agents who say, yeah, I'm in the inner circle and, I get the Gazette and I get the, I'm getting enough from those guys. Well, the problem is that it's only worth like this much if you don't have something to plug into routinely, something to be a part of, whether it's an environment or accountability. If you don't have that in place, it's not likely that it's going to happen. And I think one of the things you said there that really probably a lot of people don't realize is, you were a part of JGA, which meant that you had to live and breathe it every single day. It was part of the environment. You couldn't get away from it. And if you did try to get away from it from a couple of days, I'd call you and say, what's going on? Right. Or I'd say, hey, you missed a 7:30 accountability call. What's happening? And I think agents underestimate the value of structure, accountability, and environment. Because here's the thing, Justin, there's so many programs and people and ideas and theories and trainers out there that agents can learn from. But unless they plug into an actual system, unless there's an actual added accountability or structure, that's just information is information, right? Information without action gets you nowhere, right? You can be the smartest real estate agent on the planet, but if you don't have the environment or the structure, then that information is not worth anything.
Right.
So how do you, as an independent broker, because you're not with the franchise, how do you recreate that environment for yourself, and how do you plug into as much as you can with what we're doing to make that your environment?
Yeah, no, that's great. And I believe in the phrase, to give honor to where honor is due. And I remember last January, not this January, last January, I came to my first Glover U event because I realized that when I was leading a brokerage and leading, people that were working for me, you always said that you can only do one or the other. You can either produce at a high level or you can lead a team or a brokerage, but you really can't do both. And after going off on my own, to try to build a big company, I had about 30 agents that were working with me at one time, took on a bunch of overhead, really maxed myself out, not just financially, but, mentally and emotionally. And I made a decision at the end of 2018 that I was going to get back into full-time production. And I came to my first Glover U event in January 2019. And I realized that, for all those years I was with you, I had daily accountability. I was plugged in daily, learning daily, and it made a difference. And so when I came out to the event in January last year, I realized what I was missing, and that was being plugged into you guys, but also, accountability. And I remember right on the spot, walking up to my coach, Kate, everybody knows Kate, through Glover U. And I said, Kate, here's my credit card, sign me up. I didn't even talk to my wife yet. I didn't even do any of those things. I just said, I'm doing this, and I'll deal with my wife after.
Yeah.
And, signed up. And honestly, where I am today, I wouldn't even be where I'm at today, not just with my business, but, with everything else that's going on. I just shared, at the beginning of the call about buying a home. Kate really helped put things in place and, gave me things even outside of just real estate, but just in life on how we could put a plan together to get to a point where we could make all that possible. But I would say, Jeff, I wouldn't even be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for being plugged in, accountable, and really for Kate.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I can see the impact that Kate has made on you personally and professionally. And I remember at that event, I loved seeing you there, and that was the first time we had spent that much time together in a short period of time since you had been out on your own. And I remember saying to you, Justin needs a leader, right? Like if you have a leader, you're going to be just fine, right?
Yep.
Someone to look up to, someone to guide you, someone to show you the way. And, to some degree, even though it's not a daily thing, but to some degree, I mean, we became a leader to you again, and indirectly through Kate, through whatever, you know what I mean? That 100%. And I think that's been a huge impact on you. So 100%. let me ask you a question. When you look at the production you've had year to date, and just in general, I mean, you work with a lot of agents, obviously, in the prospecting boot camp that you do, and through the years of, you used to run our inside sales associate team, you used to be captain of the OSA team when we had contests, and a part of our agent leadership committee. So you had a lot of leadership roles prior to going out and doing your own thing. Why do you, knowing that you've had that much exposure to agents from all walks of life, what is different about what you're doing and what you've mastered compared to everyone else?
What is different about it is, the sales skills, again, that I was taught when I was working with you. Even when I was out on my own and I wasn't plugged in, I would still prospect, and I would still religiously show up and do the things that, that you had taught me. I just didn't have the accountability, so it wasn't consistent. So now it's continuing to stay plugged in and do the things that I've been taught. Prospecting on a daily basis, doing lead follow-up on a daily basis, going out on listing appointments, using leverage, showing assistant, being able to, leverage my time and have a schedule, a daily schedule, a morning routine, things that, that you talk about on a regular basis. It's what I do. And I think that, there's different layers to it. And one of the things that I was sharing with my group earlier today is I think for me is, circumstances are going to pop up in every one of our lives. We're all going to have things that pop up. We're all going to have things that come our way. Life is going to happen. And I was telling my group earlier that there's two types of agents, right? There's an agent that makes a decision that no matter what, they're going to win, they're going to hit their goals, they're going to show up, they're going to do whatever it takes on a daily basis, no matter what comes their way. Yep. Then you've got agents who are going to be distracted, who are going to get discouraged, and who are going to allow the things that show up, that pop up on a regular basis in life to cause them to continue to start, stop, and really break down. And for me, it's just been being consistent, staying plugged in, doing the things that I know that work. But really, again, that accountability layer has been a game changer.
Yep. So obviously one thing I heard in there is sales skills. You have mastered the sales skills, and you have been since we worked together when you were at JGA, and that's something that you continue to improve on yourself. And of course, naturally through teaching others, you're improving as well. But more so what I heard is kind of like the indirect environment and the structure that you've been provided, being a part, not only just, and that's what I think so cool about this, Justin, you're not just a coach for Glover U, but you're a client of Glover U. And I don't think the typical agent or the average agent totally understands the value in that. And you're not only a student, or you're not just a teacher, but you're also a student.
Absolutely.
And you have been. So talk to me. I know you've had, several groups go through your prospecting bootcamp programs now. What are you seeing there? Like, what challenges are agents having, and how are you overcoming it? Or what are they doing differently, or what are they learning and mastering in order to succeed right now? Yeah,
that's a great question. We just finished up our second boot camp today. So I've actually held 2 boot camps since the beginning of the year. And what I've found is, everybody wants to succeed, right? Everybody starts out with the desire to succeed, a desire to win. They sign up, for the boot camp and they want to make it happen. They just don't know how, right? Maybe it's they don't know the sales skills. Maybe they don't know the scripts. Maybe they don't have the mindset. Maybe they don't, have the environment. One of the guys told me today, he's like, man, I left my team to go to another brokerage because I was the weird one because I was making calls every day. He's like, nobody makes calls every day, but yet my numbers are now higher than theirs because of what I do on a daily basis. And so, what I find is, if agents are solo agents, they don't have the privilege like I had to be a part of your team, or they're not a part of a team, but they're just really trying to find their way, is a lot of those agents, struggle because they don't have anybody really guiding them and showing them how to be successful. And so everybody that has signed up, for the boot camp, they all have similar stories, right? They want to learn how to lead generate every day. They want to learn how to prospect. They want to take more listings. They want to do more business. They just don't know how. They don't have the structure. Yeah. They don't have the know-how. And they really don't have the accountability. And, we ended our last session today and I had everybody just go around and share, what they learned and what their takeaway was. And they just said how being a part of a group that could teach them how to do what they already, some of them know what they need to do, but they're just not accountable or plugged in. Yep. How it's changed every one of their businesses. And I've ended each session, each group with that, because I love to hear the feedback of, where were you then? Where are you now? And where do you go from here? Yep. And I'm telling you, night and day difference. Yeah. For those that plug in and do what we teach.
Well, because there's really two parts to it. There's generating the lead and then there's converting the lead. And I think that some companies, whether it's a franchise, whether it's a team, whether it's whatever, I think some companies are out there nailing one of those two. Right? They're either really good with their technology or their advertising or their lead gen or their Facebook ads or Zillow or whatever. They're really good at just handing leads out or creating leads. But then if an agent asks, well, how do I get results with these? Well, here's the script book. Here's the Glover U script book. Go learn this. I heard this works for them. So they're really good at generating a lead, but not really good at converting, or the other way around. I've mastered the scripts. I've written them all out. I've taken this program, or I've taken that program, but I don't actually know how to create the lead. I don't actually know what actions to take or what disciplines to have to actually go out and lead generate. Right. And I think that when I think of Justin Ford and the reason why not only did you succeed as an OSA with us, and a lot of people don't know this, but you actually ran one of our first inside sales teams. So you not only became a master of it yourself, you taught it for us before you went out and did it on your own. And then, of course, now working with us again, but you had mastered both the lead generation and the lead conversion. Can you talk to us a little bit about the difference between those two in your mind?
Yeah, lead generation is, anybody can get on the phone and make calls and, get a lead, right? Or, somebody says to follow up with me or call me back in 2 weeks, whatever. But lead conversion is knowing the questions to ask, knowing how to overcome the objections, that person presents to you. And really letting them know how you can help them, accomplish what it is they're looking to accomplish. And I always say, when you're calling an expired listing, this is a motivated seller. At one point, they had a major why as to why they chose a real estate agent, why they listed their home. Mm-hmm. And when it doesn't work out, they're frustrated, right? Yep. No matter what the reason is, if the home doesn't sell, they're frustrated. And so I look at it as an opportunity to be the solution, right? I'm the solution. I'm calling them because I know they want to sell their home. And I have a solution to help them. If it's a sell by owner, they want to sell their home, right? Mm-hmm. They just think that they don't need a real estate agent. And so when you learn the skills necessary to be able to convert an expired listing, or to be able to convert a for sale by owner, or when you're doing lead follow-up, to be able to convert those leads, it really changes your business, because you consistently on a daily basis have the opportunity to go out and get new business.
Yep. Love it. Which obviously you're the master of, my friend. So by the way, kudos to the first half of the year, and I can't wait to see where you finish up this year. We'll make sure to post the updated stats in the Winter Gazette. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on is because you have taken everything that you've learned from us you started off as a telemarketer with us.
Yep.
Then you became an outside sales associate and succeeded at a high level. I mean, I think you sold 80 or 90 homes your first year. And then I tapped you on the shoulder and said, Justin, I want you to teach our incoming new agents how to prospect and how to have sales skills and how to build their business and so forth. You became an inside sales manager. You went off on your own and did the independent brokerage thing for a while. And you're still doing that. And you're selling real estate at a high level, but you're also working as a coach for Glover U and essentially just doing something that comes very natural to you. And that is basically, it's almost like you're running an inside sales associate program. You're running a training program for agents all over the country, whether they're new agents. I mean, we have some teams that signed up for the program that have been in the business 15, 20 years, but they never actually were taught how to prospect. They never actually were taught how to sell. So we have everything from brand new licensees to experienced team leaders signing up for prospecting bootcamp so they can get the tools necessary in order to prospect themselves, A, or B, go out and teach someone else to prospect. So talk to us a little bit about the prospecting bootcamp program.
Yep. So the Prospecting Bootcamp is a 15-week program. And literally, I take you through the A to Z's of everything that I do on a daily basis, everything, Jeff, that you taught me on a daily basis over 15 weeks. I mean, literally, the scripts, the objection handlers. I say it like I'm opening up my toolbox, my treasure chest. It's all coming out. Everything that I have learned, everything that I apply, everything that I do, over 15 weeks for, 45 to 60 minutes once per week, breaking down the A to Z, the mindset, the scripts, and it's more than just picking up the phone, right? Lead generation. There's so many other things involved with lead generation, and we go through the A to Z's of it, and literally just give everything that I've been taught and give everything that I do to those that are a part of that program.
Yep. And it's very listing focused, right? Do you do anything with buyers or is it all sellers?
Well, in the prospecting bootcamp, it's all sellers. I mean, we talk, if anybody has questions, but it's listing.
I know it's good. I'd rather it be that because as you know, you've heard me say, hey, I'd rather control the listing inventory than rely on getting into relationship with listing agents so they can get my offers accepted, right? Because when you generate a buyer, you don't have a guaranteed sale. When you generate a listing, you have a guaranteed sale today when inventory is tight, right?
Especially in this market, absolutely.
Yep. So it's listings focus, and obviously we know you're strong at that. And it's 15 weeks, 45 to 60 minutes. Now, is there anything in addition to that? Like, do we have an accountability group? Do we have role plays outside of it? Do we have, a Facebook group just for us? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yep. So we have a private Glover U Facebook group for Prospecting Bootcamp. We pair people with role play partners. So we're going to role play. We actually have a contest where we have teams. So those that join will actually be in a team and will be able to, I'm not going to give it all away, but we have some exciting things for those that are a part of the winning team and the individual winner. But no, I mean, it's all hands on. It's all about accountability. It's all team focused. And we really work together and help each other. And I'm involved, not just on the one call per week.
Oh, I mean, I've been in the groups. I mean, you'll say you'll get in the Facebook group and go live and say, hey guys, join me for a live prospecting session right now. I'm going on right now. And hey, people can chime in. What I love about it, and it's something that we talked about in the very beginning, you're recreating that environment that you had with us for the people in the program. And that's why the people in the program are succeeding. It's not just showing up for a 45-minute lesson and taking notes and being on with your day. It is every week there's different activities, there's different assignments, there's different role plays, you're essentially creating this environment digitally for people.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. So when does the next one start?
The next one starts the first Monday in August, which I think is August. Let me see here. One on my calendar, August the 3rd, and it will be at 1 p.m. Eastern. And again, we'll do it on Zoom, 45 to 60 minutes. And, for those that really want to take their business to the next level, for those that, want to learn how I sold 31 homes last month, I put 31 homes under contract, primarily all listings. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to break it out. I'm going to give you everything I got.
Yep. I love that. So August the 3rd, it starts and it's for 15 weeks. Now, I know you said it's via Zoom. There's a lot of sessions out there that are via Zoom that you don't really get to interact and ask questions. Can people interact and ask questions as part of this?
Not only are they going to be able to ask questions, we start every class with, tell me how your last week was, and also, tell me one win that you've had. So it's very interactive.
Yep. Okay. So that's important because it's not like you're just signing up for a webinar and come and go as you please. I mean, it is a very interactive. It's basically like having a coach for 15 weeks. And that's why it's called group coaching, right?
Yep, absolutely.
So Monday, August the 3rd, 45 to 60 minutes. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is the cost?
I don't have that in front of me right now, but I think it's $375 per month.
Yep, $375 per month. Okay, yep, I believe that is correct. And so it's 15 weeks, so basically 4 months, right? Is that what it works out to?
Yep, 4 months.
Okay, good. So $375 times 4. Last time I checked, if you take one listing out of that, I think you're probably going to get that investment back, right?
Listen, I've got a guy who is based out of Georgia. And he's in a higher priced area. This guy has literally taken, I think it's like 10 or 12 listings in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. And he just ended today. He's got $1 million listing that he's getting ready to put under contract, all from expired listings. Wow.
And I know that you work expires, but you don't just cover expires. I mean, you talk about how to get listings from your database, how to get listings from for sale by owners, circle prospecting, how to get listings from buyer leads, which I know you've gotten listings from buyer leads. So it's not just everyone thinks, oh, that must be an expired program. Well, if you want to get good at expires, trust me, we'll cover it.
Right.
But you cover all the listing sources, correct?
We're going over everything: social media, door knocking, just listed, just sold, circle prospecting. I mean, we're your sphere of influence, your database. I mean, we dive all the way into every source that you can tap into.
Good. All right. Last question I have: if people have questions, and maybe not necessarily, if they want to sign up, do you know where they go to sign up?
They can actually just even for this, they can drop their email right into this. This session here.
Into the comments. Yeah. And then someone from our team will reach out to them. Perfect. Drop your email in the comments and someone will reach out to you, or obviously you can go to gloveru.com and inquire there if you want further details. Cause obviously I really wanted to interview Justin on his success so far this year. So we didn't really get into all the details of the program, but if you want additional details, go to gloveru.com and inquire on there, and we'll make sure someone reach out to you, or just drop your email in the comments below. And we'll make sure someone reaches out to you there as well. Well, cool. Thank you for that, Justin. And we're looking forward to another group starting first week of August. Get ready for it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, you bet. We'll see you, buddy.
Yep.
Thank you for taking your time to join Jeff today on the Live Unreal with Glover U podcast. To get started on having an unreal business, take the real estate self-assessment. After you complete the assessment, a member of Glover U will get on a call with you to create an action plan to improve your score. Go to www.gloveru.com/self. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. Search for Live Unreal with Glover U on iTunes, Podbean, or Spotify and subscribe today. Until next time, remember,
there's so many programs and people and ideas and theories and trainers out there that agents can learn from. But unless they plug into an actual system, unless there's an actual added accountability or structure, that's just information is information, right? Information without action gets you nowhere.